If I woke up tomorrow and had to learn the piano again from the very beginning, but I still knew everything I know now, there are a few things I would do completely differently. Because I know these things would help me improve so much faster and save me years of wasted time and frustration. So whether you're just starting out or you've been playing for a while, these are the things I genuinely believe can make a huge difference to your progress as well. Let's get started. From all my experience both teaching students and being a professional pianist myself, I've realized that guesswork is probably one of the biggest progress killers in piano playing. Almost everybody is guilty of it, and the problem is that it slows down your progress so much. We waste an incredible amount of time simply reacting to what we are playing instead of actually knowing and understanding what we are doing. If you could add up all the time you've lost because of guesswork, it would be probably heartbreaking. So what do I actually mean by guesswork? You play, and at some point... Oh, that was the wrong note. You continue... Oh, wrong finger. What I've even seen is, wait, was that supposed to be major or minor? You're constantly discovering mistakes after you've already made them. You're not actually playing with awareness, you're just reacting. And if there is one thing I would completely eliminate from my practice, it would be that. Because once you remove guesswork from your practice, your progress becomes so much faster. You learn pieces quicker and you make far fewer mistakes. So how do you actually remove guesswork? I'm sorry to interrupt the video for just a moment. I simply want to say thank you to everyone who has purchased our course, The Mistake-Proof Pianist. We've been so happy by the response, and it honestly means so much to us to see so many people enjoying it and finding it helpful. Thank you. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I think you'll really enjoy it. In The Mistake-Proof Pianist, you'll see everything we use every single day in our own practice and in our work with our students. So if that sounds interesting, feel free to check it out. Now let's get back to the video. One thing I would always do before I even play the first note of a piece is ask myself a few questions. The first question is, what key are we in? Simple, right? You'd be surprised how often we don't even know what key signature we're playing in. Let's say we have one flat, like in this piece. Do you immediately know if you're in F major or D minor? Or do you have to think about it? If you know it instantly, that's a great sign. It means that you are doing really well here. But many people are not. They don't even see the flat, they start playing and only later realize that something is off when the mistake has already happened. Now here is something really useful I'd also do. Once you've identified the key, for example D minor, play a 1-octave scale before you start playing the piece. It only takes a few seconds, but now your fingers and your ears know what D minor feels and sounds like. And you've immediately put your brain into the right musical context before you even begin. Now you're much less likely to make mistakes because you're no longer guessing. So that's question one. The second question I would ask is, what time signature are we in? Again, this is something people often completely ignore. They just start playing and hope the rhythm works itself out. But take 2 extra seconds and actually look. Is it 4/4, 3/4, 6/8? In this case, it's 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Immediately you have the right feeling for the piece. You understand the pulse before you even start playing. And that's removing guesswork. Now let's do one final question, especially if you're a beginner. Do I actually know the notes I'm about to play? Before playing one bar or one system, simply look through it and name the notes out loud. That's especially important with the notes that are a little higher or lower on the staff, the notes that usually make you hesitate. Even more advanced players have those moments when they doubt a note just for a split second. Checking them before you play is much faster than making the mistake, stopping, correcting it, and starting over again. So next time, before you start playing, ask yourself a few questions. What key am I in? What's the time signature? And what notes am I about to play? Those few seconds remove so much guesswork, and I honestly believe they'll make one of the biggest differences in how quickly you improve. Now, let's move on to something else that's really important. One of the biggest mistakes I've made myself, and one that I see in my students over and over again, is practicing almost always in one single tempo. Usually you have two types of students. You have the students who are really careful. They tend to practice everything slowly. And then you have the students that are a little too brave, or maybe just a little too impatient, and they try to practice everything way too fast. Now here is what I've learned. Practicing slowly is fantastic. Practicing fast is fantastic. The problem isn't the tempo itself. The problem is staying in only one tempo. When you always practice at one and the same speed, your brain gets incredibly comfortable there. You become good at reacting in that one situation, but you don't develop the flexibility to react in different situations. It's limiting, and that's why I would encourage you to explore different tempi every time you practice. This applies even if you're a complete beginner. Of course, as a beginner, your tempo range will be much smaller. And that's perfectly fine. Even changing the speed just a little bit is enough to start developing this flexibility. Then, as you become more advanced, the range becomes bigger and bigger. The beautiful thing is that every tempo teaches you something different. When you play very slowly, you have time to think. You notice the notes, the fingering, you're learning the beautiful music, you can listen, you have time to listen to your sound. There's so many details you can work on. But if you only stay there, you're missing something. As soon as you increase the tempo a little, your brain has to work differently. You suddenly realize that certain movements aren't efficient enough. Maybe your left hand isn't getting into the right positions quickly enough. Or maybe some of the jumps to the next octave are too slow. You realize that you're doing unnecessary movements you never noticed before in a slower tempo. And those problems reveal themselves only when the tempo changes. Then, as you increase the tempo more, something interesting happens again. Now at this tempo, you're no longer thinking so much about the notes or where every finger goes. You can't. The tempo doesn't allow it. Instead, your attention starts shifting towards the musical line, towards phrasing, towards things that can help you play fast and skilled. For example, in a slower tempo, I might still be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But once I get faster, that changes. Now, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think in 2. In even faster tempo, I start thinking in 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. All those ideas, both musical and rhythmic, simply don't appear if you keep practicing in one and the same tempo. Every tempo teaches you something unique. And because of that, every time you change the tempo, you're becoming a much more flexible pianist. You're improving your technique, your confidence grows, your knowledge of the piece improves, and so many other things. And when the time comes and you want to play the piece for someone else, you've already experienced the piece in so many different ways that now it feels much more secure. So don't get stuck practicing everything at one speed. Explore different tempi, even as a beginner. Just changing the tempo slightly can already make a huge difference. And the last thing I would do, and this is probably one of my favorite ideas, is something I call one perfect repetition. We spend a lot of time talking about how to practice or about technique. We also talk about our posture and how to sit behind the piano. And for a good reason, those things are very important. But we almost never talk about perfection, and I think that's because the word perfection scares people. As soon as we hear it, we imagine that we have to play the entire piece flawlessly, that everything has to be amazing. That's not what I mean at all. In fact, the secret here is to set the bar incredibly low. Here's what I would do. Every single practice session, I would make sure that I have one perfect repetition of something. And that something can be even one single measure, one system, hence separate. Whatever is achievable to you. The goal isn't to impress anyone. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can play something correctly. Choose a length and a tempo where success is almost guaranteed. Play that one measure, hit the correct notes, that's it. Don't worry about anything else, just make it correct. Because what you're really practicing isn't only the notes, you're practicing the feeling of success. You're teaching your brain, I can play without mistakes, and that feeling is incredibly important. Then the next day, that one measure maybe becomes 2, then a whole system or an entire page. Over time, you will naturally raise the bar, but you start from success, not from failure and frustration. I think that's something beginners should experience from the very beginning. If your very first habit is constantly making mistakes, then that's the feeling your brain starts associating with piano playing. But if every practice session contains at least one perfect repetition, no matter how small, you begin associating piano playing with stability, confidence, and success. And that changes everything. So don't chase perfection across an entire piece. Instead, chase one perfect repetition of something. Set the bar as low as it needs to be, build the habit of success, and then let that success grow naturally over time. That's it. Those are the things I would do if I had to learn the piano all over again. Remove the guesswork, practice at different tempi, and always aim for one perfect repetition. I genuinely believe these 3 habits can transform the way you practice and help you improve so much faster, whether you're just starting out or you've been playing for a while. If you give them a try, I think you'll notice a real difference in your playing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.